If lately you wake up feeling stiff, dealing with heavy brain fog, and feeling like you have aged 5 years in the last 12 months, I need you to listen very carefully. It is not your age, and it is definitely not just normal because you are over 60. What you are feeling is your body screaming because its internal brake pedal is completely broken. Hi, I am Dr. Anya. Today, I'm going to show you how to find and flip the hidden master switch in your nervous system. It is a real physical switch you have inside of you right now. And when you learn how to turn it on, you will be able to turn off cellular inflammation, calm chronic anxiety, and stop the accelerated aging that is wearing down your joints and stealing your energy. And the best part of all of this is that you do not need a single pill or an expensive supplement to do it. In fact, a little later in this video, I am going to show you a 30-second trick you can do at your own bathroom sink tonight to flip this switch instantly and get the deepest sleep you have had in years. But before I give you that tool, we need to talk about the real problem. You have to understand exactly why your body feels like it is on fire on the inside. Because if we do not understand what is causing the fire, we will not know how to use the extinguisher. Let's talk about the real, invisible villain operating inside your body right now. Let's talk about stress. I know you have heard it a million times. People tell you to just relax or take it easy, and if you are anything like my patients, you probably find that advice completely useless, as if you could just snap your fingers and decide not to worry about your health, your family, or your retirement. But here's what most doctors fail to explain. Your body was not designed to handle modern life. Thousands of years ago, stress meant you were running away from a physical predator. That stress response was a brilliant survival tool. It lasted about 5 minutes. Your heart pounded, your blood pressure spiked, your muscles tensed up, and you either escaped or, well, you didn't have to worry about it anymore. The point is, the stress had a clear end. Today, your predator is not a tiger. It is the 24/7 news cycle on your television. It is a concerning test result from your doctor. It is the silent anxiety of watching prices go up. The problem is, your primitive brain cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and a stressful thought, so it reacts the exact same way. It floods your system with a stress hormone called cortisol day after day without ever turning off. Imagine getting into your car, putting it in neutral, and pressing the gas pedal all the way to the floor. If you leave it like that all day, every day, what happens? The engine overheats. The internal parts start to wear out, warp, and eventually break down. That is exactly what is happening inside your body right now. In the medical and longevity community, we have a specific name for this. We call it inflammaging, the dangerous combination of chronic inflammation and accelerated aging. When your stress response never turns off, your immune system stays on high alert and actually begins attacking your own healthy cells. That overheating engine is the real reason your knees and lower back ache even when you haven't done any heavy lifting. It is the reason you wake up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing and cannot get back to sleep. It's why you feel completely exhausted, yet strangely wired at the exact same time. The fire inside you is chronic low-grade inflammation driven by a nervous system that has forgotten how to rest. So how do we put out the fire? How do we fix the brake pedal before the engine completely burns out? That brings us to the most important nerve in your entire body, and the secret weapon you are going to start using today. For decades, traditional medicine has treated your body like a collection of completely separate parts. If you cannot sleep, they write you a prescription for a sleeping pill. If your stomach hurts, they give you an antacid. If your joints ache, they hand you a pain pillar. but they have completely missed the main electrical cable that connects everything together. Enter the most important nerve you probably have never heard of, the vagus nerve. The word vagus actually means wandering in Latin, and that is exactly what it does. It is a massive biological superhighway of information that wanders all the way from the base of your brain down through your neck, wrapping around your heart, your lungs, and diving deep into your digestive system. Remember that overheating car engine we just talked about? If cortisol is the gas pedal keeping you stressed, wired, and inflamed, the vagus nerve is your body's built-in emergency brake. It is the only system capable of flooding your body with calming, healing chemicals that physically lower your heart rate, reduce your blood pressure, and instantly shut off cellular inflammation. But there is a major catch. Just like a muscle that you do not use or a brake cable left out in the rain, your vagus nerve can get rusty. As we cross into our 60s and beyond, if we have been trapped in that chronic stress cycle and haven't actively used this brake pedal, our vagal tone becomes incredibly weak, the signal from your brain telling your body to calm down and heal simply stops getting through the rust. The amazing news is that you can literally strength train this nerve, just like lifting weights at the gym, to get that strong braking power back. You can forcefully clear the rust. But before I show you the exact physical protocols to do that, we have to clear the roadblocks, because right now you are likely making 3 very common, everyday mistakes that are completely paralyzing your vagus nerve and keeping you inflamed. Let's look at the 3 false solutions you need to stop doing immediately if you ever want to heal. Let's start with the most common one, that evening glass of wine. I hear this almost every single day in my clinic. Dr. Anya, I just have 1 glass of red wine to take the edge off and help me sleep. It makes perfect sense, right? You drink it and you feel relaxed. But here is the biological truth. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. It might knock you out initially, but it completely paralyzes your vagus nerve's ability to do its critical nighttime repair work. Even worse, as the alcohol wears off around 3 in the morning, your body experiences a massive rebound spike in cortisol. That is exactly why your eyes suddenly snap open in the dark, your heart is racing, and you cannot get back to sleep. You did not relax your nervous system. You just delayed the stress response. The second mistake is what I call the grin and bear it mentality. Our generation was taught to be tough, to push through the pain. My back is killing me, but I'm just going to keep going. Listen to me very carefully. Pain is not a weakness, it is an alarm bell. When you try to power through chronic pain without addressing the root inflammation, you are keeping your fight or flight mode locked in the on position. You are telling your brain that the tiger is still chasing you. By ignoring the pain, you are literally throwing gasoline on the inflammaging fire. And the third false solution is using the television to wind down. Sitting in your favorite chair and watching the evening news right before bed is the absolute worst thing you can do for your vagus nerve. Your brain is absorbing artificial blue light that destroys your natural sleep hormones, but more importantly, it is processing stories of danger, crisis, and stress. Your primitive brain does not know the threat is just pixels on a screen. It thinks the danger is right there in your living room. It keeps your emergency brake completely disabled. So if we cannot rely on a glass of wine, if we cannot just ignore the pain, and if the television is actually making it worse, how do we actually tell our bodies it is safe to rest? How do we physically flip that master switch and clear the rust off the brake cables? It is time to take action. Let me walk you through my 3-step Vagal Rescue Protocol. It is time to clear the rust off your body's brake cables. I'm going to give you my exact 3-step Vagal Rescue Protocol. These are physical actions that force your nervous system to switch from stressed and inflamed to calm and healing. Let's start with the 30-second trick I promised you earlier. Step 1 is the temperature reset. I am not going to ask you to jump into a freezing ice bath. That is a terrible idea if you have high blood pressure or joint issues. Instead, tonight, right before bed, go to your bathroom sink and turn on the coldest water possible. Splash that freezing water directly onto your face, especially around your eyes and cheeks, for about 30 seconds. Why does this work? You have an ancient biological hardwire called the mammalian dive reflex. When freezing water hits the specific nerves on your face, your brain instantly thinks you are diving into deep, cold water. To conserve oxygen, your brain sends a massive, immediate signal down your vagus nerve to drastically lower your heart rate. It forces your body to stop the stress response instantly. It is the fastest reset button in human biology. Step 2 is the physiological sigh. When you are stressed, your breathing becomes shallow, which traps carbon dioxide in your lungs and keeps your heart rate elevated. We need to mechanically push your diaphragm against the vagus nerve to send a chemical signal of calm. Here is how you do it. Take 2 short, sharp inhales through your nose, one right after the other, to fully inflate your lungs. Then let out a long, slow exhale through your mouth, like you were blowing out a candle through a straw. Do this just 3 times. That long exhale physically massages the vagus nerve and acts like a natural tranquilizer for your racing mind. Step 3 is vocal vibration. Remember how I said the vagus nerve wanders from your brain down into your chest? Well, it passes right behind your vocal cords. This means you can physically stimulate it from the outside. When you wake up feeling stiff and anxious, spend 2 minutes humming a song at a low pitch, singing in the shower, or even just gargling water aggressively after you brush your teeth. The physical vibration in the back of your throat literally shakes the vagus nerve awake. It's like giving your nervous system a deep tissue massage from the inside out. These are not just happy thoughts or meditation. These are biological levers. You are manually pulling the emergency brake on inflammation. You are not destined to live with chronic pain, mental fog, and exhaustion just because there are more candles on your birthday cake. You are not a helpless passenger in a broken-down car. You are the driver, and now you know exactly where the parking brake is. You have absolute control over your nervous system's master switch. You just needed the instruction manual on how to clean off the rust and use it. With cold water, a physiological sigh, and vocal vibration, you are actively telling your body that the tiger is gone, the stress is over, and it is finally safe to heal. I want to know that you are committed to turning off the fire of inflammation starting tonight. Go to the comments section right now and write, "I control my switch." When I see those words, I will know that you refuse to accept aging as an excuse and that you are ready to reclaim your vitality. Don't forget to subscribe to Dr. Anya Health 60+ so we can continue this journey together. You deserve to live your best years with energy, clarity, and dignity. Take a deep breath, flip the switch, and we'll see you in our next masterclass.